Alright, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to another Warframe showcase video. Today we're going to be going over Qorvex, who is an alright frame. He's not a bad frame. A lot of people just think he needs to be reworked and stuff. He can be usable, but I don't know. He's not really revered as a good frame in the community, so yeah. He has his uses. He's a tank. He's good at spreading radiation, and yeah, we're gonna go over his abilities right now. We're just gonna see what stats he has and get on with the showcase. So let's go over the stats real quick. So this is base, no, like it's max health, but no mods. He already has 700 health. He has 300 shields. He has 875 armor. He has 200 energy, but he's on a slower end of 0.9 in terms of sprint speed, so let's keep that in mind. That's regular. Okay. Going over his abilities. His passive allows his weapons to get +3 in terms of punch through. So if you want to equip him with a certain type of weapon, you can get him like with a. It's gonna have more punch through in it, and obviously, if you want to really just tear enemies down, I would highly recommend you give him some sort of like high capacity weapon. Let's say the Queller, the Tenor, or something that has like multiple rounds. Maybe even the Soma if you want to go down that route. But yeah, it's pretty much what you want to do with his passive. We'll get into that later on. So going on to his first ability, Charinga Pillar. Essentially what happens is he summons a pillar. That's right there you can see on the screen. And what it does is it pulses out radiation. Um, and as it pulses out and it hits enemies, it's going to slow them down. So not only are they getting slowed, they're getting hit with radiation. So it's pretty solid ability. My tips for this ability is use it for area denial. It does have a line of sight check, so you might want to just pop it out in the open. And that's pretty much what you're trying to do. Going over Containment Wall. Containment Wall, essentially what Qorvex does is he summons a line of walls and slams them together. Enemies caught in that area are gonna suffer radiation damage, and also a good thing about this, which you can utilize your passive with, that's why you might want to take like something like high capacity. You are able to, well, once the walls come together and enemies either get knocked down or die from it, those that survive, you can hit them with their weapon, and because they're gonna be in a line, you can just plow through all of them with the weapon. So that's this ability. Um, Going over Disometric Guard. So this is pretty simple. What it does is it prevents status effects. But you can gain more of this ability if you kill people through like your radiation procs. So you're gonna want to keep up your first, and you're gonna want to utilize your second. There's also synergy between your second and your first, but I'll show that off later. Obviously, the more things you kill with the radiation procs, the more of these little shield icons you're gonna have around, and the more you're gonna be able to prevent status. So there's that. And then there's his final ability called Crucible Blast, which what it does essentially, he releases a beam from his Crucible core, and this does chain off enemies. So when you hit an enemy, it's gonna chain to other enemies close by. Um, it is on. It does have like its own duration. I believe it also has a cooldown too. It's a very interesting ability. I do like it, but um, it's not so much like the best ability. I feel like it could do more. I think this is a reworked version because I think the old version you should just be able to channel it and still insane amounts of damage. But He wasn't good when he came out, so there's that. Okay, so we've done that. We've gone over this. We have gone over the descriptions of these, or roughly what they do. I'm gonna show them off separately. Then we'll go into a live demonstration talking about um, just showing off the synergies, how they're gonna work, and yeah, we'll go through with that. Let's summon the corpus this time. All right. So showing off the first ability, I'm gonna cast it right here in the middle. That's what it does. And cast it over here as well. And cast it one more time over here. Yeah, so you see you're only able to have 2 up. And even at base with no range mods, these things have pretty good area kind of. So just keep that in mind. If you want to get the most out of this ability, you can mod for range, strength to increase the damage that the radiation procs cause, and duration so it can last longer. Yeah. Coming back over here, let's summon more enemies. I'm gonna show you his second ability, which I think looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna look at these guys, summon the walls, boom. And you see, well, they died instantly, but it groups them up together. If you wanna get the most out of this ability, what you gotta do is you gotta be able to mod for strength and range, because that's really what's important here. And then this one I'm not. I mean, I can show it off here, but it's better off like live, like in game. It's better off in the live demonstration. Basically, you do this. The more of these enemies you kill with, I guess radiation procs or whatever enemies you kill, you're able to summon more per cast. So right now with the current level, I can only block like 5 status. So yeah, this is better showing off like in live gameplay. You'll see what's up. Okay, so let's go here. I hit this one with the crucible beam. Let me get more energy. And this is what that looks like. Oh, this guy right here. This is in the corner. That's what it does. For a short burst of like what the fourth, it can do a lot of damage. But I think enemies take more damage if you hit them if they already proc like radiation. It'll spark like a chain reaction kind of. And to get the most out of this ability, you just gotta work on strength and range, and that's pretty much it. You can go duration to keep it up more, I think. But we'll see what's up. Oh my god, am I not hitting these guys? No, I'm not. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And as you can see, my things have increased, so yeah. Anyways, let me see if I can take these off. Nice. Alright, so now we're gonna go into the modding portion of the video. Quick disclaimers: if I use certain set mods, you can get them in Demos, Cities, and Fortunas. Fortunas. If I have any prime mods, let's say you don't have any prime mods, this you can keep your alpha brockets here. He usually has random prime mods, so just go visit him when he shows up. He shows up once every 2 weeks. And if you see me use any sort of corrupted mod, those are easy to get. All you gotta do is join a clan, build a corrupted hollow key, Go do the vaults and demos. If you find a squad to go farm corrupted vaults with, even better. Also, if you're a new player, that's an easy way to make plat. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get on to that portion of the video. So, knowing already what I know about Qorvex and how I would approach modding them as either a new player or someone who's just picked them up or someone who's in the middle of the game just trying to rank up MR. Did have I formed him? I have formed him twice. Um, I am gonna go with let's go with aura. So we gotta start with the auras here. If you don't know where to get aura mods, you can go to Nora's Nightwave in her cred shop. She does have some random ones. So yeah. Um, and his whole thing is Corvex's thing is he's always like think of like Chernobyl, like on critical. He's always like at that critical point, so that's why he does a lot of like radiation damage and radiation. Yeah, radiation damage. Yeah. Um, there's nothing good for this. Okay, I'm just gonna give him Dreamer's Bond just cause I do have to change that. Okay, now this could be whatever you want it to be. The aura mod. This aura mod's for those of you who don't know, if you're a beginner. The aura mod affects not only you but your squad mates. So if you're playing on a public squad, aura mods can stack with one another, but they also affect everyone in the stack in the group. Okay, so starting off, I do want to start with we're gonna go with Prime Flow. If you have Flow, it's just as good. Prime Continuity. If you have Continuity, it's just as good. I'm gonna throw on some Intensify for the strength. What would be a good one for the D polarity here? I'm gonna throw on some Vigor for some more. He doesn't need it, but just to give him a little bit more survivability, give him more shield and health. And for me, I'm gonna throw on some Transient Fortitude to get more strength. Oh my god. What else? I do want to throw on some range. So where are you? I'm gonna throw on some stretch. I'm gonna throw on some auger reach for a little bit more range. And then for this final one, if no, that's like an end game type mod. No, never mind. Um, if would be a good mod to have. It's interesting. Trying to figure out what would be good to have for him to make use of his abilities. No, no, no. You can throw on Streamline if you want to make this more efficient. If you want to increase his efficiency, but as it is, he doesn't spam his abilities much. And with Flow, you kind of have more energy to just use. So there's that. Mm, honestly, I can't find anything else to put on him. So if you're in a situation like this where you don't know what to do with this slot, you can kind of slot in whatever you want. That really depends to you. I'm gonna throw in some more strength through Augur Secrets. And then for the Exilis slots, These I'm gonna throw on the drift mod that you can get in a certain place. Once you complete certain quest. So this is more like mid game, like when you're like in Uranus or Pluto and stuff. So yeah, throwing this up there. Oh no, that's not enough. Oh no, never mind. What else? Prem shift footed? Nah, I'm joking. I don't care about that mod. I think that mod's ass. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I'll just leave it at that. Why not? No, that's this is what you're gonna want to run, kind of. So we're running Intensify for the strength. We're running Augur Secrets, Transient Fortitude for strength. We're running Prime Continuity for the duration. Prime Vigor for more survivability. And we're running Stretch and Augur Reach for range. And just flow for more energy overall. This you can do whatever you want with it. Um, this is just kind of just to start out. I think this would be good for a beginner if you're picking them up. It's kind of what you kind of have an idea what you want to go for. We're leaning more on the strength on this build because we can deal more damage through his fourth, and everything else benefits from just having more strength. So, yeah. Let's increase the enemy level to. We'll do 60. Let's see what he has now. It's 569 in terms of strength. So, a cool thing about his first ability, if you are in the air, you can do this. Cast it, slam down. There you go. And as you can see, he's dealing more damage. He's covering a much wider area. And his radiation procs do more damage. So, yeah. You can have two of these out at the same time. So let's say I want to hit over here, have one over here, and have one over here. You can cover a massive area. And like I said, it's good for areas now. Just make sure there's lines of sight check on this. So just keep that in mind. And cast one more real quick. And right now it's at a 43-second duration with the mods I have on. So just keep that in mind. Cast this from here, let it do its own thing. Alright, now we're gonna go over the fourth ability. The second ability. This one's gonna reach out further. It's gonna group them all in. There you go. That's what that does. I'm gonna activate his fourth ability. There you go. This ability, like I said, just prevents status effects, so you're pretty good. And I think it's pretty easy to get more back, but we'll see what's up right now. And then his fourth ability. It's covering much wider range, dealing more damage. And yeah, that's pretty much what he does. I'm gonna make him higher level to show you kind of the chain reaction. So let's go with level 100 enemies. Okay, so I'm gonna basically cast this out here in the middle. I'm gonna hit them with my fourth. Yeah. Enemies who have radiation procs for all intents and purposes, and pardon my French, get fucked. Um, Also, another thing to know with this is if you want to get the most out of this ability, you're gonna want to aim your walls and hit it because it'll force them to proc more. Also, if you hit it with your fourth, it'll force them to proc faster. Just keep that in mind. And yeah, pretty much what you gotta do. Let's get into some live gameplay. I'm gonna switch to my build. You know what? I'll do it here. Then we'll go to mine and we'll see what's up. So I'm gonna take this off. We'll go over it here on my end right now, and then I'll equip what I gotta run. Yeah, so I'm not gonna use this. So here what I'm running is Dreamer's Bond, Transient Fortitude, Flow, Stretch, Continuity, cover the range, the energy, the strength, the duration. I'm running Umbral Intensify and Umbral Fiber for armor um, and strength because I feel like he already has enough like health. His shields are alright, so might as well just lean into the armor. On my end, I don't feel like I need to give him more sort of ability. He's pretty good the way he is. Give him Augur Secrets for some more strength, and then I gave him Overextended because I want to give him more range on his abilities, so I can have those radiation procs going. And then to kind of make up for the lack of strength, I'm running Molt Augmented for an extra 25% more strength, 24%. Um, so that should get me to like 184, 190, and then multi-efficiency for more duration on my abilities. So this is like 6% or 36%. Um, so yeah, it's pretty cool, and that's what I'm gonna be running with. As far as what I'm gonna be running with too, I'm gonna be running with this. It's an alright weapon. I just kind of feel like running it. This gun, a kick gun, you can build in Fortuna, and the wolf sledge. And yeah, let's see. What do I want to run with him? I'll go with COVID. Yeah, we're gonna jump into a game. I'm gonna show you how he plays, and we'll be right back. I'm not gonna go cut. I'm just gonna go through the cutscene and everything. Okay. You know what? Let's not even do that. Let's go into the relay. We'll go from there. Okay. And I think one of the best ways to show off his abilities is gonna be in mobile defense. So we're probably gonna do mobile defense. Let me just do something real quick. I need to. What do I gotta do? Make a party. Start party, close party. And we're good. Go here. Is there any sort of fissures? There's that one. No, I want something higher level. Oh, that's alright. This is better. Yeah, we'll go here. Yeah, what is this? Yeah, we'll use this. Why not? So I'm gonna be playing public squad. I'm gonna show you how. Well, I already showed you his synergies, but now this is gonna be sort of like me just yapping and stuff. So yeah, kind of talking about the Warframe, kind of talking about life. Anything can happen in here. So yeah. Where is this? So we have someone over here. The thing to remember is to places in the area where you can get some procs just to defend the objective. Let's start off with this already. We got 19 seconds left. I hate nullifiers. I don't know why they exist in the game. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, yo. Alright, what else?
Let's go.
Friendship door. Boom. There you go. Area around here? Yeah, there is. Yeah, you mostly just want to keep your first up. That's what you want to do. Your second, like a lot of your abilities, you're gonna use them in certain situations. If you ever have to use all of them, it's because you're getting overwhelmed. But just having your first up is pretty good. Your third up is, you're almost always gonna have your third up just so you can have that added layer of defense from status effects. And your fourth, because you need enemies to be chained together. You're only gonna want to use it unless you like really need to. Because, like I said, this whole thing is about just holding down an area. And yeah, I will say this though, he does have a unique dash thing.
Keep moving.
And it sounds like just concrete, just like listen to it. Hold on. Let me wait for these guys to stop talking because they get annoying. Can I pick it up? There you go. Yeah, so this is what it sounds like. I like the way it sounds, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, I wish the weapon was a little bit better. Kinda wish it lasted more. Not the beam, but I wish you could like how long you have the ability active, I wish it lasted longer. I don't feel that it doesn't feel that good just doing that for a bit. Honestly, I don't have much to yap about. That's been pretty good. I'm excited for the Thanksgiving season. I'm gonna be off from work, luckily. I've been doing good. I've gained 1 subscriber, which I am actually super excited for. Because it's one more closer to 100, which is what I want to get to hopefully by the end of the year. But I don't think that's gonna happen unless I like randomly blow up and start making like really good content. Which I'm not saying my content is bad, but I feel like it could be better. I just don't have the means to make it the way I want to. Plus, I do have work and a bunch of other stuff that prevent me from investing more time into this. So, yeah. Get 4 more. Yeah, get Forma. Any Forma. Yeah, that's pretty much how you want to play him. Basically, you just keep your third up all the time.
Another job well
You
executed.
also keep your first up so you can keep the radiation procs going. And every now and again, if you see a group of enemies, hit them with your fourth, or you can just clump them up with your second. And if you just hit a pillar with it to proc the radiation more. That's pretty much it. He's not a hard Warframe to use. In some instances, he could even be good, but um, I don't know. I feel like he is one of those that's gonna need a rework down the line or a buff or something because he doesn't feel like that strong going into like the higher level content. Maybe because I don't know how to mod him. Maybe I don't know. But I feel like even with what I explained is enough to like get you pretty far. But eh. Um, to me, he's one of those warframes that's just like an MR fodder frame for now, because DE is known to rework frames that are known to be like bad and make them like really good. Like Oberon for a while was pretty bad. Um, Ash wasn't as good as he is now, and Ash was never a bad warframe, but he was on the weaker end. Um, Nyx for a long time had issues, and now she's really good. So I'm
Roger. I run diagnostic
pretty
regressions.
excited to see
All
what they
systems
would do
nominal.
with him in the
Ready for
future. I
deployment.
don't know when, but there's that. And yeah, that's pretty much what I gotta say about it. I hope you all have a good day, a good evening, or a good morning wherever you all at. Be safe, and if you made it this far in the video, feel free to leave a like, comment. Let me know what you think of Qorvex. Feel free to subscribe. And I am on the road to 100 subscribers, so I would definitely appreciate it, especially if you made it this far, to just consider subscribing to help me out. And yeah, I will catch you all later on in the week with a Battlefield video. Peace.